Well, Florida will hold two key special elections on Tuesday to replace former Congressman Mike Waltz and Matt Gaetz. Right now, Republicans hold the House by only 5 seats with 4 vacancies. You see the numbers there, the balance of power. Now, just days ago, President Trump withdrew Congresswoman Elise Stefanik's nomination as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations to preserve that razor-thin margin. Florida's 6th district race could very well impact the margin as Democrat Josh Weil and Republican State Senator Randy Fine go head-to-head for Waltz's old seat. Right now, Randy Fine joining us. We reached out to Josh Weil's campaign, but they did not respond to our request for an interview. But we are happy to have you, Senator. There's a lot on your shoulders with this razor-thin balance of power. How are you feeling about the race? And I must ask you, since you're joining us from a car and we just covered the Tesla protests, are you by chance sitting in a Tesla?
Well, I am, and thanks for having me. I've actually driven Teslas since 2016. So we're sitting in it to do this interview. Thanks for having me from our Tesla studio, but also to make sure nobody keys the car. This election's important, and we need everybody who supports President Trump and me to get out and vote. Democrats are mad, and Republicans need to protect President Trump's agenda. That's what's on the line. And if they go to my website, voterandyfine.com, they can find out where to vote and go vote today. That's what we're doing, asking people to vote.
Randy, are you concerned? We looked sort of at the numbers there, and we saw Waltz had won the last election in that district by more than 30 points. In a recent St. Pete poll, I believe it was, had you about 4 points, a pretty narrow margin there. Are you concerned about your race?
No, I mean, we're not worried about that. Look, that poll also said people only like Trump by 5%. So a district that Trump won by 30, they only like him by 5%. What we worry about is Republicans voting. So 25% of Democrats have already voted in this district, but only 14% of Republicans. Our people generally vote later, but we need them to go and vote today. Today's the last day of early voting. President Trump did a teletown hall. It was awesome, and he asked people to go and vote. So if you live in that 6th congressional district, go to voterandyfine.com, find your early voting site, and go vote right now.
Randy, what are the key issues in that 6th district? What matters most to voters, and what are they looking for in their next congressman?
I think what matters most to voters is the Trump agenda. So my key endorsement, the person who asked me to run and who stood behind me 1,000%, is Donald Trump. My opponent's chief endorser is Bernie Sanders. So it's which vision of America do we want? America first or socialism disaster? My opponent doesn't believe that police should own guns. He doesn't believe in rent or mortgages, which sounds great until you think about how the world would actually work. So it's a question of which vision of America do we want? The one we overwhelmingly voted for on November 5th, or going back to open borders, crazy taxes, and $50 million condom boxes sent around the world? I think it's a pretty easy choice, and I think voters are going to respond accordingly. I just need them to go vote today.
Are you surprised by the amount of money being spent by your opponent in supporters of your opponent in your race? We looked at the campaign tally, and it's some $987,000 your campaign has raised compared to the some $9.5 million Josh Weil has.
Well, I've raised a lot more money from Florida. I mean, his money's coming from all over the country, if not the world. It all comes from Act Blue, which you all have covered as sort of a very suspect website that may be laundering money from around the world. But you also have to look at where he's spending it. I've put my own money into the race, which you can't see in that total. This guy is actually paying himself a salary and got a $51,000 luxury Airbnb to live in. He sends his kids out to ask not to vote for him, but to give money to his campaign that he then takes away. So we're very confident that voters are going to see through that nonsense. They don't care what donors in Seattle or Los Angeles or San Francisco want. They care about what voters want, and that's the Trump agenda. And that's why conservative Republicans that support President Trump need to go and vote right now, vote today.
Well, and we invited your opponent on, and he can respond if he would like to come on with us to some of those things you were saying there. Lastly, just in the time I've got left, Randy, if you're making your final pitch to an undecided voter, what is it?
Do you believe in Donald Trump's agenda or do you believe in Bernie Sanders' agenda? That's the simple choice. Do we want to keep doing what we're doing since November 5th? And if people want to vote for me, they go to voterandyfine.com, find out their early voting locations, go vote today or vote on April 1st. If our side turns out, we're going to win by a lot. And I need everybody to go and do that right now.
The election is on Tuesday. We shall be watching very closely. Florida State Senator Randy Fine, thank you for taking time.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.